Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified. What is going on? Rayo Valenzuela puts off the upset against Isaac the Pitbull Cruz. Now, Isaac the Pitbull Cruz was a guy that, was best known for his work against Javante Tank Davis. And then basically, having a very equal fight. Could have fought to a draw, could have won the fight, but didn't get the nod on the night, so he had to settle for a loss. That was a fight that people fans wanted to see again, because it kind of left a bad taste in our mouths that Isaac the Pitbull Cruz could have potentially got robbed, but last night was not no robbery. It was a clear cut, the finishing moment in Rayo Valenzuela's new legacy, newly found legacy. This is a guy who's been down, who's been out. Edwin De Los Santos put in that work against them, and then Chris Colbert. That should have been a win for Rayo Valenzuela, but also got robbed on the scorecard. So these are two fighters who are not shy of getting robbed on the scorecards. They've definitely been there before. Rayo Valenzuela with two losses, and Pitbull Cruz, I believe he has one. Well, not two, right? So, but what a performance that Rayo Valenzuela had against Pitbull Cruz. Now, remember I said Shakur Stevenson would wash Isaac the Pitbull Cruz. The reason why is he's not skilled enough. He's not skilled enough. And that's the thing. A lot of people were over there saying, "Oh no, the Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Oh yeah, he's a great Mexican fighter, this and that." And I said, "Well, no, he's not. He's not one of those guys. He's just not. The way that he fights is very one-dimensional. He doesn't have too many tools in his tool bag. He's a very strong puncher, but not a devastating puncher. He's more of a real pressure on you, stays on you, and just bites down on his mouth guard, puts his chin down, and comes in with a peekaboo style, and he starts throwing haymakers on you, and then potentially gets you out, right? Well, Rayo Valenzuela had the perfect game plan to actually to beat Isaac the Pitbull Cruz. Literally, it was the perfect game plan. It would have been the same game plan that Shakur Stevenson would have implemented, would have been the same game plan that Devin Haney would have implemented against a guy like Isaac the Pitbull Cruz. See that style, the style that Rayo Valenzuela was doing and was giving Isaac the Pitbull Cruz a lot of trouble, was he wasn't going in there to bang with this dude. He was getting there to be intelligent and move around, and he didn't get caught on the ropes. He was paying out the way. He was getting out of the way. He was doing very good. It was very good footwork by him. And it showed a different skill set that he has. Right, in the past we've seen glimpses, but never like this. I thought that this was something different. This wasn't his regular types of fights. This was more of a tactical, more intelligent way of fighting. And it wasn't boring because he was really putting hands on Isaac the Pitbull Cruz, even stunning Isaac Cruz. Now this is a very dangerous fighter at 140 pounds in Rayo Valenzuela. If you be honest, he's very dangerous because not only is he intelligent and has good footwork and good foot movement, good ring generalship, good movement, knows how to get out of the way, doesn't get caught on the ropes. Not only that, the other thing is he has power. And that's one of the things that Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney they lack. And that's why their fights look the way that they look. They're not as appealing to the fight fans' eyes. It's not the reason because these guys are you know not good fighters. No, they're good fighters. The problem is that they have no power. And if you have no power, there could potentially be something that's going to get onto you, and somebody's going to pressure you enough to be able to get to land something that could be detrimental to your career, or get you that loss, your first loss. But not only that, right? So Ryan Valenzuela is pretty for that weight division. He's on the taller side of that weight division. I mean, most of those guys are around 5'8", 5'9". You know, the average height is probably around 5'8". You know, so he's on the a good side of that. He's around 5'9". You know, and he's got power, and that power is exactly what you need. Look what he did to Isaac Cruz. He gave him some uppercuts that I felt like, wow, those are stunning uppercuts, you know. And these were shots that were splitting his guard, you know. Isaac Cruz is coming in with that peekaboo style. Well, peekaboo to this, you know. He's got caught with that uppercut a couple times. And in one instance, you could tell that he was actually buzzed, but then he puts on. Isaac Cruz is that type of fighter. He gets hurt, he's coming at you with 20 shots. You know what I mean? He's just that strong, you know, and he feels like that's gonna definitely put him down on the scorecards. But yeah, a split decision victory, nonetheless. I don't know. You know, a split decision victory, in my opinion, I don't know. You know, we literally just saw how weird it is, the judging, the scoring. This was the co-main event, and look at the main event. The main event was a unanimous decision, dog. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. Look how boxing works, bro. Just look at how boxing works. It's like you could get one fight, and then they say that it's very close, and but it looks way way out of touch, out of reach than the other fight. And boom, he'll get a unanimous decision. He gets a split decision. It makes zero sense, right? Obviously. But it is what it is, man. Rayo Valenzuela, obviously, much desired, much respect. He did what he was supposed to do. His first world title, and it comes at the hands of beating a guy like Isaac Cruz. You know, a lot of people felt like that Rolly Romero fight was gonna catapult Isaac Cruz to get that chance against Javante Tank Davis. It was just not gonna happen, man. It just wasn't gonna happen. Isaac Cruz is a good fighter, but the problem is he has only power and he has only pressure. And if you're only power and you're only pressure and you have nothing to really uh to really persuade the judges to give you a fight, there's really nothing much. He caught Rayo Valenzuela with a couple big shots, but he didn't. But let's be honest, he didn't rock Rayo Valenzuela not once. You know, it wasn't like Rayo Valenzuela was all over the place. You know, Isaac Cruz is a good fighter. He just needs more technique, more skill set. I understand that he wants to be on the front foot. He wants to be a pressure fighter. He wants to have that power. But it's you know, but there's gonna be guys that are able to take that power, you know. And Rayo Valenzuela was the first to get him. In that aspect at 140 pounds and winning that world title and becoming a world champion. You know, this actually just turned his whole career around. He was like, this literally just turned his whole career around, dog. You know, getting that work at the Robert Garcia gym, getting that work at the Robert Garcia gym has, I mean, it has took him to another a place inside of the sport of boxing. You know, it's crazy how changing a setting could could potentially make you better. You know, look at when he was working with Jose Benavidez. You know, he didn't really have too much. He didn't really have too many sparring partners. He didn't really have anything. And he comes out and looks like it gets beat by Edwin De Los Santos, gets knocked out, and then he goes to Robert Garcia, and Robert Garcia is a very good trainer, and he's been training him well. And the best thing about it is that he has people that he could spar with that can make him better inside of the ring. So he knows the style that Pitbull Cruz has. He knows that the style that he has. He knows that if he just stays away from him, he's gonna be able to get him. So it was the perfect game plan. So shout out to Robert Garcia, man, on a perfect game plan with Rayo Valenzuela and the execution. I mean, the game plan was great, but the execution is even better. You know, that's just how boxing boxing goes. If you can't execute that game plan, then you're in a whirlwind of pickles. You know what I mean? You're done. You're cooked. You could have the best game plan, but if you get caught on the ropes and you start getting hit with all hands and feet, it's over. It's over. But if you could execute that game plan, that just shows the level of intelligence that he has inside of the ring, and the level of intelligence that he has inside of the ring. So that Edwin De Los Santos fight obviously was not who he was. That's not who he is. That didn't define him. He still put on great performances. He got robbed against Chris Colbert, then came back and knocked Chris Colbert out. You know what I'm saying? So he's defining his legacy by just going back into the gym and getting better, finding ways to get better, um, channeling in that skill set that he already had, and all he had to do was just implement that and execute it on fight night. So Rayo Valenzuela not only showed that he's a fighter coming off of defining his new career, winning a world title. You ask people probably like 4 or 5 fights ago of Rayo Valenzuela, a lot of people were high on him. After the Edwin De Los Santos fight, a lot of people were down on him. They were like, oh, I never felt that he was that good. I never really thought that, he was a good fighter. And he defined the odds. He came in the ring and showed that he wasn't gonna be subjected to those types of fights to Edwin De Los Santos. He showed that he wasn't gonna just stick around and be a punching bag for somebody. He showed that he could still become a world champion. He showed that he has a lot of skill set. He has a lot of skill set, and that I think that that's one of the best things to see from Rayo Valenzuela. I think that he did a great job. I think that there's no there's no greater accomplishment than becoming a world champion for the first time, and he did that last night. I mean, you could see the emotions. Uh, it was just a great game plan. There was no way I felt like they could take that fight away from him. A split decision victory for Rayo Valenzuela, well earned, and congratulations to him. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified, and we out there. Peace.